Hey, what is going on guys, and welcome to a special episode of Career Mode where I'm going to be letting you guys decide the fate of the series by deciding what team we'll be starting with in Season 4. In the last episode, we managed to secure a League and European double with the Borough after our thrilling 3-2 victory over Barcelona in the Champions League final. So today, you guys can decide whether it's time to leave the Riverside Stadium or not, and if so, you can choose what team we go to. Now, if you're new to my channel and unsure on how to vote, then do not worry, because at the end of the video I'll be explaining how you do it as simply as possible, and of course it is very simple, so don't worry too much, but I'll explain it anyway. But for those that have been here for a while, then you'll know how it's done, and if you'd just like to vote and not listen to me natter on, then simply click on the link in the description and you can cast your vote. Regardless, in this video I'll be showing you the 5 teams you can choose between and giving you a brief description of the sides, so let's get straight down to it, as you guys today will be deciding the future of the series and what team we'll be starting with in Season 4. So the first team you guys can vote for is the team we're currently at right now, Middlesbrough. Yes, of course, we've done 3 seasons at the Riverside Stadium, and although some of you guys do believe it is time to move on and go to a new club after our League and European double in the last season, some of you guys still do believe it would be better to stay at the Riverside Stadium, try and collect as many trophies as possible, and still go some trophies we're yet to win with the Borough, such as the FA Cup and the EFL Cup as well. Of course, our side looks like this, as you can see, ending Season 3. A very awesome side we've assembled here, and again, a lot of you guys do believe we'd better to stay at the Borough, develop some of the young talent coming through, continue to work with our youth academy with some really good players in there. Sean Baker, the standout, as you guys know, who's still 15 years old, and look to make this Middlesbrough side even more dominant. Of course, in this 3rd season, we did dominate in the league, winning the title by 15 points. Some of you guys want to do it again next season and try and retain our league title once again, and of course, with the budget of Middlesbrough as well, I gotta be honest here, I've advanced through Season 4, so you can see what budget we'll start with any of these 5 clubs for Season 4. I'm quite disappointed because it's £39 million, which is about the same as our first 3 seasons, so that's pretty disappointing. You can see the board expectations as well, and you can see what they'd want for Season 4 onwards. So if you'd like me to stay at Middlesbrough and block any kind of move, that's totally fine. Simply click on the link in the description and vote for the first team in the straw poll, which is Middlesbrough. So if you'd rather keep me here and not go to a new club, Middlesbrough will be your choice. Click on the link, vote for the top team, and choose Middlesbrough. And now, as we move on to the first of 4 new clubs to possibly join, we're going to start in the Bundesliga with Borussia Dortmund. Yes, Dortmund, the German side, who have a pretty decent team in the game, I must admit right now, as we be going into Season 4. But out of the 4 teams, the 4 new teams we could possibly join, Borussia Dortmund would probably require the most amount of work. But don't let that fool you, what I just said there, because they still do have a very strong side. There are some aging players who would need to be shipped on, quite a few players that are in their early 30s right now, but for the most part it is still a very, very strong side, and I think Borussia Dortmund would be a very interesting side to join as well. Last season reached the Champions League semi-finals before being knocked out by Barcelona, who of course we beat in the Champions League final, and of course don't forget in Season 2 Borussia Dortmund were the side that knocked us out of the Europa League semi-finals. So Dortmund are a pretty interesting side. There was only one other Bundesliga team I could possibly join, and that was Bayern Munich, and Bayern won the title by 14 points. So I thought maybe with Borussia Dortmund, a side who are so desperate to one day win the Champions League and would like to return to being German's strongest side as well one day, maybe Dortmund will be quite an interesting side to join. I've never managed them before, never played for them before in a player career mode, so maybe Dortmund would be an interesting team. Their budget isn't too overpowered either. It's £42 million, so only a few £1 million more than Middlesbrough, and you can see their expectations here as well, what they're supposed to do: reach the final of the Champions League, win the league title in the Bundesliga, and reach the semi-finals of the Deutsche Pokal as well. So if Borussia Dortmund seem like the type of team you'd like me to manage in Season 4, then click on the link in the description, vote for Borussia Dortmund, cast your vote, and maybe next season we'll be starting in the Bundesliga. Now, the second new team you'll see is the only Italian side in the poll. There's one from France, one from Germany, one from Spain, and one from Italy as well. This is the Italian team, and it's Juventus. Yes, Juventus, right now the strongest side in Italy. They were the only Italian side currently able to be joined, and I must say, they've got an absolutely fantastic side. There is no doubt about that, and unsurprisingly, David Alaba is in the Juventus side. Believe it or not, I know I was stunned as well, alongside Alex Sandro and Ricardo Rodriguez, so left left back wouldn't be a problem if we join the Italians. So Juventus have a pretty decent side in the game, obviously a really strong side. They were actually knocked out at around the 16 stage in the Champions League in this season 3. But the one interesting thing about Juventus is they do have quite a few aging players in the squad as well. Quite a lot of players that are in the 30s, particularly in the back line. Players that are beginning to decrease in stats as well. And that's why Juventus, despite being a really good side, would still require quite a bit of work if they were to become one of my typical career mode sides that are really youthful and have loads of potential too. They still have some good young players, there's no doubt about that. They still would require a bit of a transition for them to look good for the future as well as the present too. They did win their league title by 11 points, so have a very big budget too. And of course, their board expectations, as you'll see in just a moment's time, are to win all 3 of the trophies that they can compete for. But I still think Juventus would be a pretty interesting side to go to. Going to an Italian team, if you remember last season, Watford and Milan, the second and final team was the Italian side. Lots of you guys like that stint at the San Siro, so maybe Juventus is the team that I should go ahead and manage. Never managed or played for them before, so again, like Dortmund, would be a completely new side. And if you'd like me to start Juventus in season 4, then click on the link in the description and vote for Juventus. So they are the second new team and the third team in the poll, and now let's meet the penultimate team in this straw poll. So the fourth of 5 teams in this poll is Paris Saint-Germain. Yes, the French club who right now are one of the richest clubs in the world. They've got so much money and unsurprisingly a really good squad too, as you'll find out by this squad report as we will be entering season 4. Now, one thing I will say right now is that a lot of you guys may be sitting there watching this video and thinking to yourselves, this is kind of frustrating because the teams you're showing me right now are really good already, and I'd like you to go to a side that are quite poor and you build them up again like Middlesbrough. Unfortunately, in the browse job section, I had slim pickings. You know, there were a few Premier League sides, all of which were big clubs already, and the foreign clubs were big clubs too. Not a real surprise, because obviously right now I've just won the Champions League and the Premier League as well with Middlesbrough, so clearly I'd have a lot of teams falling head over heels to try and get me to their club, to try and make them as strong as Middlesbrough. But either way, basically, the only clubs I could bring you really were good clubs already. But PSG, funny enough, did not actually win their league title in the third season in the game. Monaco topped Ligue 1 and won it by 5 points. So despite their very good side and very big budget, Paris Saint-Germain would require some work for them to once again become the strongest side in France. And if you remember, back in FIFA 15, I managed PSG in my main career mode after West Brom and before Arsenal, if you were as well. If you enjoyed that save, enjoyed me managing PSG, maybe once again a return to the Parc des Princes, totally up to you. And again, their massive budget, £93 million, would be pretty fun to start with as well. So if you'd like me to manage PSG in the fourth season he's in the career mode, then vote for PSG in the link in the description, and maybe we'll start Parc des Princes for season 4. And now let's meet the 5th and final team of the straw poll, which again is a big one and quite an interesting one too. And so the 5th and final team are these guys then. A very big club and a pretty interesting team as well. And I'll show you why in just a moment's time. Real Madrid are the final team you guys could vote for in this straw poll. And maybe we'll join up at the Bernabeu for season 4. Now, as you take a look at their squad report right here, it is a very good team with some decent young talent. But like Juventus, they still would require a bit of work for them to become like one of my normal career mode sides, as they do have quite a few aging players in their lineup. Not too many, but enough of a concern for me for me to worry about shifting them on when we would join up in season 4. So still a very good squad. But last season in the game, Real Madrid actually finished in 3rd place behind Atletico Madrid and Barcelona as well. Barcelona were the only other Spanish side I could join if I wanted to, and after beating them in the Champions League final, I thought it probably wouldn't make much sense to leave Middlesbrough and go ahead and join them. So I thought I'd pick Real Madrid for the Spanish sides. I didn't really have any other options, and as you can see, last season finishing in 3rd place, they would require some work if they were to once again become La Liga champions and Champions League champions as well. So Real Madrid, of course, a very good side, but again, would still require a bit of work for them to once again become one of the strongest sides in the world after they were knocked out by their Spanish rivals Villarreal in the quarterfinals, where we knocked them out. And again, they would start off with an £84.5 million budget, and I would have to win everything in season 1, so the pressure would be on right away. So Real Madrid are the 5th and final team. Now I'll show you the team though. Let me go ahead and show you how you vote for one of these 5 teams to start off in season 4. So those are the 5 teams that you guys will be deciding between for who I start off with in Season 4 in my FIFA 17 career mode. The one thing I do want to say straight away is that I just alluded to a minute ago there, I do understand some of you guys may be disappointed that the 4 teams I've chosen are all big teams, but every single team in the Browse job section was a big club. I didn't have any alternative. I could only choose between quite a few, and again, all of which were big. There was only one league where there were multiple teams that were available, and that was the Premier League, and I thought if we were going to stay in the Premier League, we may as well stay at Middlesbrough. So because of that, I do apologise, I didn't really have much of an alternative. But anyway, voting in this straw poll is very, very simple. If you've been on my channel for a while, you'll know how to do it, but I'll refresh your memory anyway if you'd like. If you're a new viewer, however, pay attention. It's pretty simple, but I'll show you regardless. So on the screen right now, you will see a straw poll, and to get to this page, all you got to do is open the description of this video, click on the link next to the words vote here, and you'll be taken to this page on the screen right now. You can see all 5 selections available for you, Middlesbrough starting at the top, and of course around you the bottom team as well, and the teams in between. All you have to do to vote for the team you want me to start out at Season 4 is click on the box next to the team of your choice. So if you want me to start at Borussia Dortmund, for example, then click on the box next to the Borussia Dortmund, then at the bottom, click on vote, and after you've clicked on vote, you're done. Simple as that. You cast your vote, and it counts towards the final score. You'll then be taken to a live results page where you can see who's currently winning in the poll, and you can see how your team is going against the other teams in the straw poll. So voting, very, very simple and easy to do, and please do get involved. If you watch this video, please do vote for the future of the series, because again, it's your decision, it's not mine, it's totally up to you. So a big thank you for watching the video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it, and again, do not forget to cast your vote for the future of this series, and you guys can decide who we start off with in Season 4. The poll will close on midday on Friday, I don't even know what day that will be, but it'll Friday, this upcoming Friday at midday. That's when the poll will close, and the team with the most votes is the team we'll be starting a new Season 4 with, which will begin on Saturday morning. That's next Saturday morning at 9 AM UK time. So a big thank you for watching the video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please do leave a like. Much love to you all, and whatever you do, do not forget to cast your vote for the next team in my FIFA 17 career mode starting next Saturday morning. Good luck, and I'll see you then.